brainwashing yourself into feeling good and believing that you can be a business owner and you can change your life, so you can do it. And you know what? It makes sense. Because like most people that need that, they need to be emotionally brainwashed. And the fact that the things that are said in this book make no fucking sense, which they don't, doesn't matter that much. They can like.
So it's more the outcome you get from it.
Because
but you think that's more
matters,
obvious.
And the outcome in here is like emotional.
Well, you're playing 3D
move on a
chess.
person.
You're playing 3D chess. He's playing 2D chess. You're like, dude, that's all obvious. So you just skip all the steps. Is what's going on, right? That's what you're getting at.
Kind of like that. But
well, dude, you're really fucking smart though.
So it's like the content is valuable if you look at it that way. If you use it as like the emotional push that gets you towards a certain outcome, right? But the fucking content of the book is ridiculous, man. It's like the what's the name? The Way of the Superior Man, right? The content of this book, if you want to logically argue about this, is complete fucking bullshit. None of the things that David Data says is in any way provable scientifically. If you follow any sort of scientific method, you can prove that shit. But that doesn't matter. Because if you let yourself get brainwashed by the content into the kind of way of like emotionally behaving that way and feeling that way, then you have the energy of it, and that's what matters in this particular case.
Well, like it's like looks, like doesn't matter that looks matter or not. No, to be honest, focus on the fact that looks matter or not is actually fucks you over, right? Like whether or not. Okay, so I personally don't think that looks are. So if you're the exception, I call it the exception to rules. What I've been
seeing. So are you trying to get to say that looks don't matter?
Well, yes.
Because I'm gonna fucking burn you on this.
Let's do it. All right, so check it out.
You know what's the difference between me and you? I used to be ugly as fuck. Now I'm not so much. Now I'm like mediocre. But I used to be ugly as fuck. I used to weigh like 50 kilograms, so like 115 pounds, and just look really bad, right? Just fucking twinky ass shit. And I experienced that. And then I bulked up and I went to the gym and I got like in shape and stuff. And game is just different, man. Game is just different. Girls just open you by themselves, give you signals. They don't do that when you're ugly as fuck, which doesn't mean that you can't pull. But trying to claim that the game is the same, that's bullshit, man. That's.
I've seen with clients. So I've seen clients that are like butt fuck ugly. That
no, I'm not saying
the right
that.
Energy,
dude, I'm
and
not.
Like it's the energy though. It's
but
like,
then I was telling John about this before. What you're saying doesn't disprove what I just said.
Well, you can't honestly prove this unless like. So I'll say this. It's just more like. So here, do you want to hear my theory on this? Because I have a really elaborate theory, which it could be. I'm not gonna lie. Content bias, straight up.
Sure.
Okay. So. I think most people in society are kind of getting almost, so there's 8 billion people in society, we're made for a tribe of 150, okay? That's what our brains are made for. It's not made to actually handle this shit. So what it's doing is it's looking at the people at the far end of the spectrum and it's telling yourself that this guy over here is in my tribe, so I must fucking suck. And this is most people. So they look at this guy and they start acting like pussies. So how many people do you see out there like being outgoing, like in positive, not being, most of them are frowning, most of them are like look like they got punched in the face constantly. And I think about this a lot. They can't even like have a real conversation with people. Oh really? That's so interesting. Oh my god, it's like the most fucking like mind-numbing fucking conversation you've ever had in your life. Like, and the more I go out, the more my verbal skills get better, the more I become cooler, the more my tone gets better, the more I punch, the more that I actually have a way of speaking that's powerful. So when I talk to a girl, and I give her like the energy, it's a little bit different. Like you can't like, so the fact that you were overweight, like here's the counter argument, maybe it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe you started thinking that because society says that I'm bad because I'm not worthy, now you start acting like you're not worthy. For me, I found that whenever I give myself the permission, I get the results. But when I don't give myself the permission, girls hate me. For the first 3 months of me gaming, girls fucking rejected me. Then I kept going and I kept pushing it. They got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better until now. Like, dude, it's like every other girl's like wanting to like fucking like go on dates with me.
So everything you say,
like
everything you say, I agree with.
Yeah.
But it doesn't prove.
I know.
It doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's correlation causation.
Okay. Now, everything you said, sure, makes sense.
But
you're saying you know I see this in bootcamps all the time.
Unless you go out and like so like my experience says one thing, your experience says another.
Well, you're saying I see this in bootcamp a lot or with students a lot, which I've seen that too. I did bootcamps too, I coach and stuff, and I've seen that too. The thing that you're missing here, dude, is that the claim is that not that you cannot get good results with women if you're classically unattractive, because you can, because girls will, because looks are not that important. That's the bigger point.
Bit, but not
the bigger point is like it's not that important.
Exactly.
sure, you can like get good results, like without being classically very good looking.
You have control.
Sure.
Yeah.
But trying to claim that the game is the same and it doesn't matter is bullshit.
Come here, watch this.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you get the guy with the same level of like charisma and emotional intelligence in game and have him be classically very unattractive and then go to like mediocre or something like this, which was in my case, then only then you will see the difference.
Exactly.
And this is something that you won't see if you're just like, if you don't have that sample. If you don't have the sample of the guy how he looked 5 years ago and what were his results 5 years ago versus how it is right now, and in the same assumption, his level of game is still pretty much the same as it was then. Only then you're gonna know this. And this is the reason why the best guys to like give opinion on the matter of looks in game are the guys who actually went through the path of improving their looks. And there's not many of those.
I did.
Because, well, you did, but in the pickup community, there is a stigma, which you're saying, or stigma, I don't know how to really say this in English, but like the kind of attitude of trying to brainwash people into believing that looks don't matter, which is a positive thing, by the way, that they do that, because most people without that brainwashing get just stuck and they don't do shit,
check
right?
this out. Avery, out of our last boot camps, were the guys that pulled girls the ones that had the energy or the ones that were good looking? Because we had some models on the boot camp. Which ones were like the ugly guys or the hot or the good looking guys?
Yeah, it was the less attractive guys pulled more.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that
it was
because...
Yeah, it also doesn't prove anything. But I'll say this, instead were very attractive guys, and they were having it pretty hard. And they weren't even like, they were actually pretty confident guys too. Like if they just didn't have like the, when like so specifically when we talk girls, hey, do you hear that? He filled a report with his tone, and he needed it too bad. Your guy like didn't give a fuck, and he's just very free and fun, and he didn't like give a fuck, and he just like was off the handle. He pulls a girl the very first day of the boot camp, and they pulled a second time, didn't he? But he didn't fuck. But he didn't fuck.
This is a different guy. No, he did sleep with her, but it was a different guy who pulled twice.
Yeah.
It was a less good-looking guy than him.
I just don't see, so whenever I look at, like, so this is obviously personal experience and you cannot prove shit, and I'm going to say this, the only way we can never know this for sure is if we can never figure out how to read the brain and read the neurons. We actually talk about this all the time. Is it environmental? Is it biological? We don't fucking know. It could be looks, it could not be. I could be content biased, you could be content biased. To be honest, there's no proving this answer. Like, people want to pretend like they know the answer, but really nobody does. Like, you and me both, I'm not gonna lie, you and me both probably have the closest version of the answer, because you and me put in the work. Like, you worked your ass off to figure out this shit. I remember, like, you writing down notes, I wrote down notes, we worked with the best in the world. You fucking hit this shit. You have a gorgeous girlfriend that you pulled threesomes with. Dude, I do pretty fucking well at this shit. You know, we both have taught this at different points. Like, to be honest, we have the best answer. Like, nobody else, society wants to like push into us, and society, like, so society the way it is, it's like, it's built like a tribe where it wants to feed you and tell you. Like, so, like, when you become those you're around, that's because you become your tribe. Your tribe becomes your hub. So what the world does is it feeds you constantly. Looks are what matter. Looks are what matter. So everybody gets fed this echo chamber. So what happens is the attractive guys are like, I look like that, so I can act more confident. So they act more confident. So then the girl's like, yeah, those are the guys supposed to matter. Then the guys that they're usually the ones that also
look,
cool.
Levi,
You got the answer.
If you put or how do I say this? If you put yourself in a place in life, in general, where you're so fucking weak-minded that you allow everything around you to tell you that you can have or not have a relationship with a girl that you like based on
looks,
anything.
Yeah.
Looks are one of it, fucking however many things, but on anything, then you have a much bigger problem than your fucking looks.
Well, dude,
right?
It's biological, man.
If you like, you're so weak-minded that you let yourself pimp into the idea that like, oh, there was like, it depends on my look, if this girl will fuck me, right? Then like, you're never gonna do that game if you have that attitude, right? So like, so clearly, obviously, what is more important for you is to work on like the strength of your integrity and your own mindsets, rather than get a jawline surgery, clearly, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, going into the statement of saying that like looks don't have a factor. No, it's bullshit. Yeah, energy is more important, as you're saying. Of course, it's more important.
I think it's like, it depends on the person too. Like, if you're like one of those guys who doesn't game at all, your looks are gonna be everything, because then you like, society's gonna tell you you're awesome because of your looks. And you also get sevens too. You get fed sevens that want to be proven that they're attractive too. So they'll date a guy to prove themselves that way, but then they'll cheat on the guy on the side with some guy that's just cool. Which I've seen so many times where a model dates like a 6 or a 7, and the girl's like cheating on. Yes, shut up.
I'm that guy. I'm
All
that
the
guy.
models are cheating on the like the sexist
100%
stuff to try to fuck you and shit.
I'm 100% that guy.
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? You've seen that so many times. You've seen so many models that suck with girls, right? So many guys that should be clearly killing it with women.
You know what
that
I like
aren't.
the most? Sorry for interrupting, but you know what I like the most?
Uh-huh.
When the girl's like super attractive, like one of the most attractive girls you've ever met, and she's clearly fucking somebody like me, like a 5 or 6,
And
but
guys-
she's so into it and so brainwashed that like she says like, no, he's a 10. I really
Yeah.
like, I
Dude,
really
Jules was
like,
all the
he's
fuck over
such
it,
a
too.
10, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like below average height. I'm fucking bald. I'm skinny as fuck. What are you talking about, bitch? I'm like, the definition of male looks mediocrity. And she's like, I just think that you have like really manly facial features. But Alice says that shit all the time.
No, but see,
Like,
girls
it's
see,
so
girls
ridiculous.
make this. You told me this actually. They make an emotional decision, then they back up the logic
Yeah.
after the fact. She made an emotional decision that she's super fucking
never
into. She's
never
attract-
stops to blow my mind.
She doesn't know like how why she's so attracted to you. They don't know why they're so attracted to me. And what they'll do is they'll look for the reasons. Like, dude, like I'll get fat, dude. I have a sex video where like so I was like, oh man, I'm so hot because I was getting so much good validation, dude. I got fat during COVID, like leading up to it, and dude, my stomach was resting on this girl's forehead while she was giving me a blowjob. I didn't know until I saw the sex video after, and I was like, wait, I'm fat? I had no idea because all these girls are telling me that I had a great body, dude. But it's
hilarious.
well, it's like that backwards rationalizing. But I think we have the same view on this, dude. I think like honestly we're in the middle ground. I mean, it do matter, but it matters for losers.
Well, going
It
back
matters
to
for losers.
Wait. No. Fernando.
Hey, what are you doing over there? Why aren't you in the party?
You didn't smell mine. Is that what you said? What did you say?
Nice. She needs
See.
to tell me to fuck off her so
You didn't see mine.
He tested me out.
Yeah, but your eyes are dark. I don't think you're in contacts.
We're in contact, so you didn't see mine. So that's a lie.
I'm not an expert at everything.
That was a lie.
My bad, babysitter. Buenas noches.
Trying to fix these cracks so close now I can't go back home. See me running out that door cause I'm gone. Bitch, so long, I promise you that. Once I leave, I can never run laps, I won't ever come back.